Okay, so let's jump right in. We're looking at a massive clean energy deal today, but it's one that tells a much bigger story. It's really about ambition, partnership, and what the future of power is going to look like. So, how does a country even begin to transform its entire energy future? Well, it all starts with a really bold vision, finding the right partners, and a very big number.
And this is that number, 225 million US dollars. That is the total financing package for a brand new landmark solar and battery project that just got the green light over in Uzbekistan's Kashkodaria region.
So, you might be asking, why is Uzbekistan pushing so hard, so aggressively for renewable energy? I mean, this isn't just a small step we're talking about. It's a giant leap, and it's backed by some seriously ambitious national goals. The country has set this massive national target. The goal? To generate 54%, that's more than half, of all its power from renewables by the year 2030. For any nation's energy grid, that is a huge pivot in a pretty short amount of time. And, this isn't just some vague goal they've put on paper. They are actively trying to develop 25 gigawatts of new solar and wind capacity to make this happen. Just to put that into perspective, 1 gigawatt is roughly what a large nuclear power plant puts out. So we're talking about a massive build-out of new clean power. Okay, so an ambition that big, it needs a partner with some serious expertise. And that's exactly where Masdar, the United Arab Emirates clean energy champion, comes into the picture. Masdar is an absolute powerhouse in the renewables world, and it's identified Uzbekistan, and really the broader Central Asia region, as a key strategic market. They aren't just dipping their toes in the water here, they are making major waves. Now, the CEO's own words here are really telling. He points to two absolutely critical ingredients for success. Not only does the country have the natural resources, plenty of sun and wind, but just as important, the government has created the right policies to bring in that investment. And believe me, this project is just one piece of a much larger commitment. Masdar has already poured over $2 billion into Uzbekistan's energy sector. We're talking about the country's first utility-scale solar project and even plans for the nation's largest standalone battery system. This really shows a deep, long-term partnership. Right, so a project of this scale, it needs a pretty complex web of international financing from partners all over the world. It really does take a global village to build a green future. And this chart just illustrates that collaboration perfectly. The European Bank for Reconstruction and Development is the lead financier, sure, but you see this whole coalition of players chipping in. You've got other development banks, you've got direct support from nations like Canada, Finland, and Japan. They're providing something called concessional finance, which is basically just loans with more generous terms to help support these big development goals. And even the hedging from ADCB is key, because that protects the project from financial risks like currency fluctuation. The crucial thing to understand here is the model they're using, a public-private partnership, or PPP. So Uzbekistan's state-owned grid operator partners up with a private expert, in this case Masdar, who then designs, builds, and runs the plant. This whole structure shares the risk and takes advantage of private sector efficiency. And that is what makes a massive project like this one bankable for all those international lenders. So we have the ambition, we've got the developer, we've got the funding. But what does this project actually do on the ground? Let's take a look at the real-world impact. So the project combines a 300 megawatt solar plant with a big 75 megawatt-hour battery. And this combination is absolutely essential. The solar panels, they generate huge amounts of clean power during the day, right? And the battery stores it so it can provide reliable, clean power around the clock, even after the sun goes down. The environmental impact? It's huge. This one single project will prevent over 400,000 tons of CO2 emissions from getting into the atmosphere every single year. And in human terms, what does it mean for people? Well, it's going to generate enough electricity to power the equivalent of 60,000 homes in Uzbekistan. That is a direct, tangible benefit for the people living in the region. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? This deal is way more than just a power plant. It's a blueprint. It's a model for how nations with ambition, developers with expertise, and international finance can all team up to speed up the green transition. And that really leaves us with a fascinating question, doesn't it? With this project, a new piece has just been placed on the global energy map. So if this blueprint, this mix of ambition, expertise, and international money can work so well in Uzbekistan, where else will we see it transform a nation's future next?